Hello, 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 hello. Good morning, boys and girls. How are we doing? Hope everybody is well. Did people get opportunity to play the housing PTR over the weekend? I saw there was lots of people tinkering. I actually didn't have much playtime over the weekend, but I did have a good opportunity to get stuff done, which was kind of nice. I've been putting IRL stuff off for a couple of weeks because of this damn remix, but it's good. I got a whole bunch of gardening done on yesterday. I've got to maybe possibly finish the stream a bit earlier today than normal because I got to go to the tip to get rid of a bunch of shit. But we got some remix to do. I'm pushing my percentage of leveling speed up. I've seen now people are getting 1 to 80 in like 40 minutes, which is actually ludicrous. 1 to 80, 40. Now, to be fair, that's not solo. That is basically being boosted, which it's 1 to 40 minutes, predominantly based upon the fact that if you've got a super geared main character that can nuke mobs really fast, you can do it in 40 minutes. Shields rest? No. There's lots of people that are using shields rest, yes, but this isn't one. I will probably not be too interested in the boosting side of things to get a whole bunch of characters. I would probably rather spam dungeons. Simply because having multiple characters out in the open world being boosted is a recipe for false reports, which I do not want to incentivize all that much. But I've been, as you may see, tinkering with a few different alts now. Alma, no, where you go? Back this way, in your bed. Bed's, no, that way. Get in your bed. Bed, go. It's the process of getting to 400% for me has been a simple one. Spam the infinite research missions. Just spam the shit out of them. Get them done. And as soon as you run out of them, log off that character and move on to another one that has got them. This is going to mean that a couple more alts maybe, and I'll be at full 400%. And then we can really start putting that advantage to the test. I still think via dungeons, it probably will never be this quick as it was in Mr. Pandaria to level alts. But I do think 400% is going to be a significant bonus. Doing it solo, one character, leveling, without the assistance of anybody else, I still think is more than possible to do in sub 2 hours. Which, for your average player with one account, that's more than manageable. But if people are really trying to scale it and they're trying to level multiple alts on multiple accounts, then you probably want something a bit quicker than that. But even if you could, in theory, get 4 characters to 80 in 2 hours, that's still a pretty good average. Let's turn the tunes down just a bit. That's more than a bit.
Is that your wallet?
Righty.
You're just glad to see me. Both, I hope.
Yo, Chris with a 20. Welcome in. Good morning to you. Thank you, thank you. Do dungeons give loot for the alt? Found that a bit of a downside for what I saw with the open world stuff. Yeah, I mean, just being straight boosted, you're not going to have a single piece of gear, a single drop of artifact power, a single drop of bronze by the time you ding 80, which is going to mean you are fundamentally useless as a character at 80, which is always going to be an issue. But you have to remember, people don't want these characters to be 80 in Remix. They want them to be 80 so that they can port them straight over to retail. That's the only thing they want. They have most people who are trying to get a whole bunch of alts to 80 are not doing it for the purpose of having fun at 80 in Remix, you know. Of course, if you do it via dungeons, yes, you probably want to put your main on... I see Haldan's 36 minutes, 10 to 80 self boost. Yeah, I mean, it's still a boost. It's not solo, isn't it? So, it's... anybody with a fully geared character could attempt something like that, but that level 80 is then going to be nearly useless. If that's what you're shooting for, you know. But I am on, what am I on? 271%. I've got a couple of characters that are almost within touching distance of being level 80. So that will be an extra 10-20%. So I reckon I can get to 300 really easily. Let's just do normal dungeon because we've got to do one of those anyway. Got 3 quests we can pick up. Kill enemies whilst Naran's Everdisk is your artifact. We can do just that. And then a third one. Violet Hold on Heroic. Violet Hold is such a stinky one. It takes flipping ages and it's dead boring. It was dead boring back in Legion. Kill elite enemies across the Broken Isles. These are elite enemies and not elite rares. I think that can also be technically done in a dungeon. Let's find out, shall we? Normal dungeon, go. Let's grab our piece of jewellery for the day.
Felicitations to you.
Is it a good one? Low of Unknown Depths. 'Tis a good one. 'Tis a good one. Yoink. There's a keeper. Does Zygo have a guide for maximizing Legion remix achievements that unlock mounts, transmog sets, etc.? It seems it only has campaign and class order halls for remix. No, but I'd also say there's not really a lot that does that. There aren't really that many achievements that unlock mounts. I mean, there's I don't know. The subsection of specific achievements for remix is really quite small. And all of them are very straightforward to what you got to do. I don't think there's like a guide worthy in that regard. Also, don't forget a lot of the achievements you see now are related to later phases, which we don't have access to anyway. Oh, one thing that we probably do have access to today is our 28th. Where's the world boss today? Nazak. I need to go kill him on my main character. That will get me a 28th infinite knowledge today. Yes, it will. Reshuffle the quests. Yeah, I should reshuffle the quests. I'm just intrigued to see if this kill elites also works in a dungeon. Normal dungeon queue is like seconds, usually. Might be a little bit different this. Yeah, 2 minutes. We'll be in a normal dungeon in a minute. 3 more quests, nearly 300%. That's probably at least a level per quest, plus a level for actually doing the dungeon. Okay, this is going to nearly get us to 80. Let's give this a second. There we go. See? You ask and it shall reward.
Throughout the ages, the legends of my storm
Gear also comes into play for some of the achievements, like the Order Hall, Deathless Runs, etc. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, there's not so much like, I don't know. The TLDR is that no, Zygot doesn't have specific guides for that sort of stuff, but I don't think it's guide-worthy stuff in the first place, which is probably why. Zygot can pretty effectively, you know, guide you through all of your Order Hall campaigns, all of the campaign, all of the lore mastering, pretty much everything. It's been a bit of a godsend, honestly, for Remix, to take the brain energy away from trying to figure out, oh, where do I go, what am I doing, all of this sort of stuff. Especially since with the Order Hall campaigns, and not just the Order Horn campaigns, but your class artifact like class campaigns as well. There's lots of times where you're kind of stuck, where you can't continue before you go and do something else. The questing in Legion was very intertwined.
Through great deeds of courage and valor.
You're doing this as damage now? I thought you were just spamming healers for Qs. Honestly, DPS classes, it's like 2 minutes of Q. It's really not bad. And honestly, that gives me time to like take a breather between dungeons sometimes and actually put spec points in talent trees and like clear out my gear and all that sort of stuff. It's not really even that much downtime. But yeah, I found DPS can get like 2 minute queues. it's easy business. There's so many goddamn tanks knocking about and so many other people that are just spamming healers now that even DPS are like really quick.
I will not fail you, Aegir.
Which is kind of nice. So taking advantage of that for sure. Getting close to item level 700. Feels like forever to gear up. I don't know how you guys have done it. Feeling burnt out already, and I have the whole of Suramar to do. If you've got the whole of Suramar to do, you're about halfway. just to give you a heads up, Suramar goes on forever. The Suramar zone and quest line is probably about as long as the rest of the 4 other zones combined. Which is good, because if you're 700 item level, you'll need those quests to get to 740. This is my point, right? That's a really good highlight to just how long it does take to get to 740 gear, and the misrepresentation of people like me that did it in the first week, because you know, you were playing the game proactively 10 hours a day, which, you know, is 60-70 hours of effort to get a fully geared character. And a fully geared character doesn't even mean a fully geared character. It just means your item level doesn't go up anymore. Then the real grind starts, which is grinding verse out. Because 740 is fantastic and all, but it don't mean shit if you want to do the higher Mythic Plus dungeons to get the achievements and things. You will still get absolutely clapped as anything other than a tank if you try to do a plus 30 at 740 gear. So there's so that, you know, players who are absolutely blasting the game in the first week, or, you know, they give the impression that, oh, it doesn't take that long to get to max gear. Well, if you don't sleep and you do nothing else but, you can do it in a week. But most people aren't going to take that approach.
You have earned my blessing, champion. I look forward to meeting you within the
And this was a big criticism of mine during testing, that I wanted them to make it quicker to max out your characters than it was in MoP. I thought, because it took about 60 hours to grind out the bronze to cap a character in full gear in MoP. And I was convinced that was like 2, if not 3 times too much. I thought it should have been way quicker than that for a 90-day event. But not only did they not address that, they doubled down on it and made it even more of a lengthy thing. So, yeah, it's kind of crazy. Saw that group doing a plus 100 with the after the IP rollback. Yeah, they basically played the game for 55 hours straight. And you know, this is the thing, right? That's the gamers doing the whole, you know, hold my beer. You know? Oh, you want to cap our progress in week 1? All right then. Fine. Boom. Have 999 ranks. GG, well played. See you later. I've seen characters myself with 800 ranks now. Yeah. Yeah. If you absolutely blast top end Mythic Plus and you do it in an organized fashion, and you just pilfer every single plus 30 key you can in, namely,
Let's make
Arcway.
sweet, sweet profit together.
It's kind of mental. Mr. Norton with a 37. Good morning, welcome in.
I too have proved my worth, Odin. I am God King Skovald. These mortals dare not challenge my claim.
When you hit max, you can do 30s, and you should be about 80 verse when you hit 740. Yeah, I was in that ballpark. I'm a little bit higher now. I think my hunter's like, I don't know, 150 verse, something like that. But I'm actually not playing my main hunter all that much every day. Maybe spamming the raids with you guys, but over the weekend, for example, I jumped online yesterday for an hour and actually joined Elon with his mythic run on my hunter yesterday. But that's pretty much all I did over the weekend. I have really no desire to grind out 999 ranks. Absolutely no desire. It might be kind of cool to be able to get strong enough to like boost people through their plus 30s and boost people to get their keys and you know, titles and that sort of stuff. But I'm quite sure by the time you got to remember, gearing is going to be. We get 30 opportunities for an instant upgrade really easily with the raids just now. Next week, when we get 10 more raid bosses and 3 more difficulties, that's 30 more opportunities a day for an upgrade. That's going to make the 740 grind feel significantly faster. If you do literally nothing but the raid every day, or the raids on their respective difficulties, which I'm going to assume are going to be on blast from day one. I do not expect the new raid to come in with any level of difficulty whatsoever. I mean, how could it possibly? How could they possibly scale the new raid to actually be difficult? They physically can't. Like, it's just not going to happen, is it? So it'll be a day one just nuke it down job. I'm tempted to log on to retail and do Nighthold on my main hunter just to try and remember what the flipping place looks like. How are we doing, Jack? Welcome in. Good morning. Simplifying crafting professions and reagents at midnight. I flicked over that article. It says nothing we don't already know. And it actually goes as far as to say things that have not been confirmed in true Wowhead fashion. It's trying to confirm things that are not confirmed. The crafted armor and weapons going from 5 ranks to 3 has not been confirmed by anybody ever, anywhere. That's all. I mean, it is probably going to happen, but it's still at the point where it's kind of speculation. Yet Wowhead are reporting it like it's fresh off the press news. Really annoys me how they do that. How they will state something without any form of source or, you know. It's really annoying.
Possibilities be infinite.
A Taliesin passing comment off the cuff is not what I consider a legitimate, reliable source. You just do your mythic and heroic every day. That's about a 10% increase every day. Yeah. Yeah. They're going to cap it to 10 mil, so that means that people will be capped at 250 verse? No. Why would they cap it? Why would they cap? Well, like, the whole point of Remix is it's unlimited. I know it's not as unlimited as, you know, we're led to believe, but there's no point capping anything. That's cool and all, but it's the wrong one. Equip you, you're the wrong one. Go, there's an upgrade point. You're the wrong one. I need to just quickly kill 20 things. I'm annoyingly 74. We go kill some Murlocs quickly for the last quest. It said something about reducing people to 10 mil after the patch. Once again, source. Was this in a blue post or what? I mean, they have already... They rolled back people in week 1 to 10 mil. That was due to the use of more than clever use of game mechanics, in their opinion. That already happened. That happened last reset. T6, 4 more. There we go. 75. Hand that last quest in, that'll put me like 76. Annoyingly close. Annoyingly close. Does anybody want to do a quick normal run? I know it's early, but does anybody want to do a quick normal run so I can get this dude dinged to 80? There might be raids, but they're not going to be so structured and timed. It will be more of a case of like, shall we do a raid? So I'm focusing on getting these ults leveled up. Harvesting as many percentages as possible. I need like 5 levels, so I reckon a quick normal mode. Quick normal Emerald Nightmare will do it, won't it? Quick early morning pump. Do it. Do a quick early morning pump. Who doesn't love an early morning pump? $10 mil's really nothing now. If you'd played one character 5 hours a day since launch, you'd be at 10 mil. I don't think my main is at 10 mil yet. I think I'm 7 or 8 mil. But yeah, the point stands. If you've basically just done all of your raids every day, you're in good standing. The whole system's really hard to like quantify because, you know, you've also got to remember that there are people who are relatively early in their remix adventure who still, you know, they don't actually also have full knowledge yet, which is until you are min-maxing your wow, the lag in this zone. Oh my god, I've just flown over the world, boss.
Be vigilant.
I wish to study the energies in the shattered locus. Capture some of the creatures feeding upon the crystals there.
The artifact knowledge plays a big part, and until you've got access to all of that, your power gain is significantly less. Where the flippin' hell's the portal to this place? It's like around here somewhere.
Are corrupted by the nightmare. Cleanse Shallan here of the infestation that is claimed.
This it? No, this is the dungeon. Shit, where's the raid gone? No, that is the raid. No, that's Dark Heart Thicket. Where the fucking hell's the raid gone? Who's stolen the raid? I swear it's round here. Only 5 hours, that's 35 hours a week. That's a second job, basically. But 40, yes. Yes. But equally at the same time, you know, for a hobby, that's... You got to remember, this is meant to be the opposite of a job. It's meant to be something that's interesting and fun and relaxing to do. Oh, why is it kicked the group out again? Hang on. Summoning portally thing. Got one of them somewhere. Wow, I've only got 2 of them. Whoops. Loads more spots for a quick early morning Emerald Nightmare, boys and girls. Oh, hello, the numbers are starting to rock in now. This is not going to be very organised. This is literally going to be, I would imagine, a lot of randoms. But I'm just blasting it on this alt to get it to 80. I'm doing raid singular, not plural. And it's like I said, raids are not going to be overly organised. They're just going to be when I need to do it on a character, I'll make the group and everybody's welcome. Organisation might not be of the highest rank. How many is that? 27, 28, 29. And Mr. Norton, just whisper me. Wow, that's a way to start the stream, Goldson. Thanks for everything over the years. How you doing, my man? Let's get everybody in. We got loads of summons we need to get on. Mr. Norton, I haven't had a whisper yet. Speedy, speedy. Haven't even had coffee yet, can't raid. This is not a serious one.
On a strict timetable. You will not interfere.
Tal alumen no sindorai. The spirit binder reveals your soul to me.
Time to supplement my workforce.
Come to a venom. For the Sunwell.
Can hardly keep up with the remix raids at the best of times. Yeah, they can be end up in being quite a Zerg fest if you not a Frogger, flipping hell. They can end up being quite a Zerg fest if you're not careful.
The dream has changed.
Oh shit, they pulled the first boss. We'll get you summoned in a second, unless you happen to already be here.
I dreamed the dream. Now I
I'll summon you at the next boss, otherwise it'll be
Alas, poor Night Vendra.
pain in the ass to get people past.
As guardian of the dream, only to be perverted into a gatekeeper of corruption. Still loading damn add-ons. I've tried to keep my remix tunes with as fewer add-ons as possible. It's actually kind of nice, the remix mode. You can turn a lot of your regular add-ons off. It's such an oddity to have TSM switched off, honestly. I have faced the nightmare before. Never has it had so thorough.
Slacking been playing Arc Raiders for 3 days. That was its beta weekend, wasn't it?
Its corruption. Do not let its whispers.
I've done quite well so far this month avoiding distractions. That said, Remix has been enough of a distraction of itself. So much so that I've not even logged on to the alpha in like 10 days.
Evil emanates. Choose a course, and know that I will stand with you.
Server Slam out on October 30th. Nice. Did it end up being any good? Was it worth the hype? Oh my god, I got absolutely nuclear deleted. Oh, and it started me all the way back here. For fuck's sake. Did a bit of the housing on the PTR. That would have been a good use of the weekend, yeah. Yeah, a bit of housing practice. I've still not really looked at housing.
This was a dreamway.
I'm weirdly in this kind of mode where I both want to look at housing, but I'm also so very tempted to just not at all. But I know that's really dismissive of the fortunate position I'm in to have access to it, and you know, but it's one of those where I do kind of want to not spoil it for myself, if that makes sense. Because if I spend a bunch of time making a house on a PTR or on the alpha or something like that, where it's all free and all easy to do, I worry that the enjoyment of it when the time comes might not be as strong, especially when it turns up and you then actually have to pay for everything. Oh, so much for the summon, boys and girls. Thanks for that. Someone ninja pawned. You get loot anyway. Don't AFK and run.
Truly, there was never a soul more noble than Ursul's. I pray his spirit finds its way back to the dream.
Oh my god, I am so close to starting kicking people. I am so close to start kicking people. Literally, my first words were welcome all. Wait for boss pulls. Kill trash so that people can get back when dead. Oof. Frustrates me a lot, this does. This is why I don't like running raids all too often with randoms. I'd rather keep it with you guys where we can have a organized, civilized run.
The strands of life have been severed. The dreamers must be avenged.
Housing is going to be so good, although a few things need a little bit more polish. I'm somewhat concerned. Ro over on the Discord did some really good sort of analysis of the costs of things. He's spreadsheeted the shit out of everything already, and has put things in a way that it's easy to see just what things might cost. He's put some estimated sort of costs based upon time spent getting materials and that sort of thing. I'm already here now. Thanks. And the average price of a piece of crafted decor seems to be between 5 to 10k. And with it being between 5 to 10k, if you think of what your item limit is in a house, now obviously everybody's not going to be using crafted stuff, but even non-crafted stuff, to get multiple copies of it, it's going to cost you either gold or some sort of limited currency. Arguably the limited currency is going to cost more than the gold in theory. So when you think of the item cap or housing stuff, and then let's put an average 5k cost per piece of decor item, you're looking at 1 million gold to fully deck out a house. Which is fine for, you know, goblins, right? Absolutely fine for goblins, but it's going to sting like a biatch for the average Joe that has less than a token's worth of gold. And this is where I think the early advertising of like, oh, you know, housing's really fun and there's all this opportunity and whatever. It's great when it's all free. It's going to feel very different to players when it's not free anymore. It's going to feel very different to people when it's not free.
None for you. Only gushing blood and broken bodies.
Something you add to every so often. Well, that's arguably the way, right? That's something that it's meant to be a grower, isn't it? It's meant to be something where you build yourself a little shed out of the limited stuff you have access to, and then you slowly build on it. But you got to remember how gamer do gamer things, right? It's going to be It's a dick swinging contest, especially if you're in a neighborhood with like 50 guild mates and whatever. You can't be a guild leader of a prestigious guild living in a shed, you know? It's all about image, isn't it? It's ridiculous as it sounds, but that's deliberately they're the heartstrings that housing pulls on. The whole thing is a status symbol, isn't it? And whether it needs to be that way or not,
What horror is this?
you know, those emotional pulls will affect
Reflecting the
players.
world tree, here in the reflection of the Titan's own playground.
And I can't
If this seed
wait to
takes
see
hold,
just how
the
much
roots
gold
of
people
its
do spend on this.
infestation will wind their
And
way
I mean,
into
I said this
Arthur
from the word go. I wanted housing to bleed as dry. I wanted housing to be so fucking expensive.
Everyone. This must
Because it'll be
come
good
to
for the
pass.
economy in general. Even if there's not really that many ways to extract wealth out of it yourself. There will be, but even if there isn't much way to extract, you know, for goblins to do goblin things, it's still really good for the economy because it will just shuffle gold around like nothing else. It'll do good for the token. It'll do very good for, you know, past expansion materials and farming and that sort of stuff. So that there'll be opportunities all over the place. You know what's annoying? You buy a housing piece from a vendor, it goes in your bags and not straight to your inventory. Have fun buying multiple pieces at the same time. Well, I imagine it going into your bags first rather than into your inventory is their way to allow you to sell back shit that you then don't use, maybe? I think you have to, you know, the items are on use, aren't they? So you then put them in their guild chest. When they're in the guild chest, then it's kind of permanent. So there's that sort of refund aspect. This is what will allow people, I imagine, to go and buy 10 copies of everything from a vendor and then sell some of it back if they don't use it within 2 hours kind of thing. To counteract the, oh, every time I need one more blue rug. Shit, I got to go back to the blue rug vendor, which will get really annoying really quickly. But I really like the fact that they've made sure that there is some economy around housing. Because let's not forget, they could have very easily just made everything solo collectible. They could have made everything solo collectible and not given a sniff to any crafters. They could have made nothing tradable. There's lots more restrictions they could have done. Opening it up to like the economy, I think, is something we should be thankful for, if nothing else, depending on how profitable it actually ends up being.
Xavius and his ancient master delight that so much of our attention goes into fighting the Legion. Their insidious
Blood Elf architecture at release for Horde, so it's not only mud huts. Well, in theory, it's going to be a system that they build on, isn't it? So
to defeat the Legion and catch our breath before the Black Army.
Much like Delves, they have the intention for this being not just an expansion feature, but, you know, a permanent feature. So
the way to Cenarius is clear.
The room for opportunity
is
there.
To think that my Shandow could play
I would imagine going forward, we will see every time they do an update to a seasonal event, it will come with a whole bunch of associated decor, you know, Christmas decorations, Halloween you know, loads of thematic, festive decorations to collect and buy and put in your house and, you know, tinker with. People will be all over that. But it does mean that they don't have to worry too much about launching. There needs to be a good enough at the beginning so that people don't think the system's shit, but there doesn't need to be loads.
You are hopelessly outmatched.
Taking time out to start collecting the crafting recipes. Classic has so many. Oh, trust me, that's another journey that almost never ends. Once you get past the quick and easy ones, then you really start to feel the pinch when you start realizing how many of them you get like one opportunity a week to get, and you're like, oh, this is going to take me years. I'm still missing both. I think I'm missing leatherworking recipes from like a vanilla raid that I get one chance at a week, and it takes me 45 minutes to do the raid, and so I'm just like, I'm never getting this recipe, am I?
But my great teacher lived.
I'm just going to have a big swimming pool of gold that you can swim through. Yeah, turn the water gold, please.
Heart of the nightmare. Would that I could fight at your side, heroes, but to this place I cannot go.
Looks like I'll ding 80 on Xavius, which is kind of cool.
Dream gives me great power, but it also makes me vulnerable to the rift's darkness. I have peered inside it and know this to be true. Should I step within, I would be lost.
It'll be another 10%, which will get us to 284.
Only this way can the dream be restored, and Azeroth.
So I've got a few levels to do on my Warlock, although I don't think the Warlock will hit 80 today. You guys haven't even seen the Warlock yet. This was an adventure I started on Saturday.
I will take us into the heart of that twisted place.
Wow, holy frame rate, Batman. Jesus. 30 FPS. Drizzling Rose, you should be absolutely all over this remix. If you enjoy your dungeon leveling, this is going to be really good practice for you for midnight.
The nightmare has corrupted dragons, gods, and legends.
Embrace the dreaming, champions. It can save you.
Only got 5 slots though.
No, I will not permit it.
On the one account.
Embrace the dreaming, champions.
Last time I checked, we're not restricted to only one account. Just saying.
No, I will not permit it.
You can do normal for the Warlock. Maybe can do. I'm not. Like I said, I'm not super in need to zerg these 280. I was doing it on the Paladin just because there was enough experience to do
Heroes,
just that.
Champions, step forth and hear me. The nightmare has long been a cancer eager to consume the Emerald Dream. Had Xavier succeeded, his corruption would have overwhelmed Azeroth, giving rise to a living nightmare.
Plans for the day?
Your triumph restores the dream and
Work towards
safeguards the
400%,
The allies of
and then
Xavier,
test out some sweaty
but this
leveling
road at least
systems.
is closed to them.
That's a very rough plan for the day, at
Who knows
least.
what knowledge we'll acquire? Never settle for the unknown.
Let's also reset my tasks. Arguably, I should actually just bang out a shitload of tasks on this Paladin now he's hit 80 as well, thinking about it. I also probably need to scrap all this gear now he's 80. I only get 29 fragmented mementos from a whole normal run. Seems remarkably low. Is that all you get via normal? I'm probably missing a fuckload of sand though. Normal runs are very bad. Check the mail for the ones you missed. That's a good point. Oh. Well, that's something. Terror from below. Take that. That's an upgrade. Yoink. Yeah, I've got potentially 18% available to me by doing the research tasks on this dude now. Or the alternative is I just level a new character and do 18 tasks on that. Why do I need to do the 18 tasks on the character that's already 80? Don't really, do I? Need a raid for the Warlock? I can boost you with the Demon Hunter. Thank you, thank you. rid of all this, see if we can get as much ash as possible. Ash for the sand for the ash bringer. Ash for the ash bringer. 571. There we go. That's more up to speed. That's more up to speed. At least this character starts getting moats and whatever now. Let me do a few research tasks on this paladin, just so I don't feel like I'm losing research tasks. Silly as that sounds, but... Complete 10 world quests? No thank you. Normal dungeon.
Time is set in sand.
Kill demons.
Question
Run Vindicate's Judgment. Easy enough. What was it? A normal dungeon? Normal dungeon. I really should just go prot. I should press all 3 buttons, shouldn't I? I really don't want to get flipping tagged as holy. Okay. Do we have talents to put in place? One last talent. What else does a fresh level 80 need to do? Nothing really, I don't think. Wait for the dungeon queue to pop. That needs to boost me and carry me. There's a good chance we'll do some more raiding later. This is going to be far from a carry, Jack, by the way. Far from a carry. Oh, you've stolen my dungeon queue. You don't have enough members to queue as a cross-faction group. Oh, you're Stinky Alliance. That's also not going to work. That's also not going to work. Hang on, boys and girls. Stop. I appreciate the assistance. Hang on. Let me stop and think for a minute. All I'm doing is getting a quick normal done to get a little bit of research done here. Where's... what do we need? Vindicator's Judgment. Okay. 45 seconds. Healer? Oh, wait. Oh! The hell? I need to turn off this auto group invite. Throws me through a loop. Alright, well, let's just quickly do a dungeon then. Let's just do a quick normal dungeon. We get one more. One more for just daily. Oh, well, hang on. You guys want your random. Sure. Yeah, random. Random normal. We need one more. Because we got to fill the group out if it's cross-faction. It's my day off and I need the bronze. I actually don't know what my bronze total is right now. I've kind of taken my eye off bronze a little bit. Since, I'm at apparently 1.8 mil. $1.8 mil unspent so far. Which should be most enough, I think, to get everything that's actually possible to get right now, almost. But I don't really want half the mog. And luckily now I don't need to worry about accidentally capping my main character, because you can just transfer it to an alt. It's GG. Dungeon, start a group. This is not necessarily for Vault with the Wardens, this is just a random. This is literally just a random daily normal. I have everything that is currently buyable and stuff left. It was much faster than people said it would be. I've not yet sort of figured out min-maxy ways of farming bronze as effectively as possible. But leveling a few characters and playing the game has, yeah, netted me probably about close to 3 million just by playing the game in the last couple of weeks. But I do know an awful lot of that comes to you in like one-time chunks. So actually leveling a bunch of alts, leveling alts naturally and not boosting them, you can get about 150 to 200,000 bronze per character just leveling it. So it's that's probably the way to do things. Just level a bunch of alts. Do all of your infinite research quests on a bunch of characters. If you focus on doing each dungeon at least once, preferably on, whilst leveling you can do them on normal and heroic, but when you ding 80 then doing all of them once again on mythic, you get like 10,000 plus bronze for every mythic dungeon you complete. Boys and girls, this is slower than just queuing randomly. This is slower than queuing randomly. There's no point doing this way. A random queue is literally 2 minutes. No. Stop. I don't know how that is happening, but stop. Stop. I just want to do a random quickly on this, please. You'll insta-join and don't even need to heal. Yeah, I don't want to take the risk on Holy. I really don't like Holy Paladins. It's a 2-minute queue for a DPS. I'm happy for a 2-minute queue on a DPS. It's all good. Let me quickly grab a drink whilst the queue pops. The actual puppy is just here. She's getting big now. There we go. Quickly bang through this. Have I got Vindicator's Judgment active? That's the one I need for the quest. These guys considered demons? I don't think they are they?
Not get far. We meet again, weakling. Now, guardians of the ritual, prepare yourselves. She will not be disappointed. its coil. Drown them out. You can't stop.
One boss down. Do you reckon there's 100 enemies in here? Maybe. Wait, where did that mob even go? Did it... what? It just got deleted. Oh, somebody... monk touched death. So jarring to see that happen. The mob just disappeared. Oh, I got fished. Right, I need to decide what class I level up next. I'm thinking I pick something I don't really like. And the reason for this is so that I just get it done and then just put the character down, which is kind of the plan. I might pick something I don't really know and have no real intention of playing. Mage. Mage actually could be quite fun, you know. I tend to think Mage is probably slap in Remix. Do every class for this. Well, this is the thing. I know there is a feat of strength for doing all of the classes. So I do need to pick something I haven't already. I mean, if I wanted to make it easy for myself, I'd just pick Hunters. And I just absolutely nuke things. Well, technically, the quickest is probably Druid, but... Got a DK already? I could do a Death Knight. Done a Warlock ult this time. I've no clue what's happening or what I'm doing. One button for the win. Yeah, this is exactly how I've leveled my Warlock so far. With one button rotation, just scroll. And this is what I will probably do with most of the classes that I have absolutely no idea about. When I log on to the Warlock and you see my bars, you'll laugh. Where's everybody else? Oh, gold. I've run away from the crowd. Yeah, it's all the Class Order Hall campaigns. That's actually going to be quite a timely thing to do, isn't it, on all of the classes? Which would probably be an interesting feat of strength to have. The question is how... that's one of those things you should probably only do it if you enjoy doing it, sort of thing. Probably not too smart to do that just because it exists. Why are we killing the snail? Killing the snail. Takes an hour each, Zygar and go. Yeah, I mean, that's still like 13 hours minimum of like just grinding for no real actual reason. I could fill 13 hours far more effectively, I think. I wouldn't normally pull these mobs, but I need them for this. I need this quest. So sorry group. Sorry group. Sorry. Takes you 10 through to 75. Well, yeah, this is another option. It can probably level you really far as well. Order halls do give housing stuff, however. That's interesting of a concept. Going back on to the topic of player housing deck, I see two scenarios. One is that demand will be so high the market won't be able to supply properly due to the world loot changes. Price is already high, can't imagine what it'll be when real demand kicks in. The other scenario is that people are sitting on thousands of mats getting ready and it'll just be a race to the bottom and zero profit for a few months before those Mega Goblin stacks run dry. Regarding your first scenario, that can't actually ever happen. There's no such thing as a market that runs dry. It just doesn't happen. It will never happen in the world of ever. It's not a case of that something will never be available. It's just a matter of how expensive will it be. There is never not like there's only ever not materials for about 3 seconds. It fundamentally doesn't happen, especially now things. It could have potentially been a problem back when materials were server specific, but now on the region wide it doesn't happen. It will just make that early period. It will just make any material that goes into a piece of crafted decor really fucking expensive. And it is actually more likely to be the second option, and this is because there is restriction to how much you can craft. Lumber being warbound, lumber being something that you have to gather yourself, that actually makes lumber the bottleneck. Which means that the actual materials that go into making it doesn't really matter. Like, sure, there'll be some that are naturally expensive, but the annoyance more so than anything else, or the restriction more so than anything else, on players creating the pieces will be gathering the lumber. The fact that each expansion has its own different lumber as well will only only add to the frustration of players trying to mass produce these crafted items themselves. That they can't just stand at one tree and just dunk 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 dunk. That they'll have to go into different zones and find different trees and different lumber to get. Yeah, lumber is the general term we're calling it, but there's a different expansion-specific lumber for each one. So if you want to make a Warlords of Draenor decor item, you're going to need the respective Warlords of Draenor lumber, meaning you're going to need to go out to Northrend, gather some of the lumber from Northrend before you can craft the decor pieces. This also means mass-producing decor items to spread across every single realm in the EU is going to be quite difficult to achieve. It really only leaves the mass cross-realm opportunities open for people who are willing to flip the decor items. Buying out quote-unquote cheap decor items to flip somewhere else where they're not necessarily so listed might be a thing, but we'll have to see.
Time is set in sand, not stone. There is more than one way to solve any problem.
Acquire a new artifact weapon. Don't I now start getting the refresh items in my bags? And that meant to be a thing that's happening. I Okay, well the reality is I don't actually need to be playing on this character too much now. I just wanted to get a few quick percentages. I basically wanted to make sure that I don't waste too much of this. That's all I really wanted to do. Yeah, why am I not getting the scrolls that allow you to refresh? Oh, I am, look, here they are. Refresh your infinite research assignments and set a new one if one is available.
Change is good.
Yeah, you now... Now it looks like you can't do that via this dude. It's via these. Two quests complete, slay enemies, kill a boss, and get rid of this demons one.
There is more than one way to solve any problem.
Pick up a wing of Raid Finder. Cenarius one. Who kills Cenarius? That one. While we wait for that Q to pop, we go gather some herbs. Oh wait, can I take another one? No, lies. Oh, I can't. Wait, can I take 4 now?
Stone.
1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, see, I told you you can take 4 at a time. Why can I take 4 at a time all of a sudden? Don't know. Right, gather some herbs. Gather some motes. Wait for the Q to pop. Kill the boss. Complete the 2 quests. That will get a whole bunch more done. That's another 4%. Nice. Dyes need lumber too? No. At least what we can see so far, the dye system has a bit of a problem from a profitability standpoint. Each of the dyes can be made with the Warlords of Draenor herbs, which means they become very easy for players to produce themselves. Anybody with a garrison or anybody with a bunch of garrisons know that you know that the Warlords of Draenor herbs, well, historically have always been basically unlimited in supply.
Wardens will bring down their portals. Together, we can push the Legion back.
Which does kind of set a floor price, and it will probably undercut. It will allow players to craft dyes very cheap, and will undercut the viability of most old world herb farming. The fact that pretty much any dye can be made with a WOD herb. Hang on, why is my dog whinging by the door? This is not what's meant to be the play. My dog's whinging by the door, boys and girls. You're going to need to give me 2 minutes. I'm going to need to rectify this situation. Please give me 2. I'll be back in a couple. Okay. When Papal decides it's time to go out, it's usually time to go out. I don't I don't question it. Since he's the older dog and she doesn't take the piss. Right. Oh, you were fighting. Sorry, I'll go away again in a minute. Herbs, and ore, ore, and moats. Herbs, ore, and moats. Yoink. Right, I need some pigeons. There we go. Purple pigeons. Yoink. Are these fixed yet? I'm going to assume these are not fixed yet. These were working one day, and then randomly they just stopped working. Oh. Pigeons phased out. Don't know what will happen. I imagine it will skyrocket at the beginning when people figure out how to make the cheapest ones. It will settle down to normalize. Dyes are. I don't know. I've over the years seen this kind of thing happen so often that I don't usually hold too much value in these things until we see the economies go live. There's so much speculating these days that happens about things that will make people things that will make people gold. I was thinking about this a little bit earlier about how they're tweaking the professions in Midnight for simplicity reasons. And while I think it's a great move forward, it's gonna for crafters who enjoy crafting, it's gonna make the whole experience significantly worse. Because there's not any real restriction in place that allows you to like carve out an advantage anymore. Look at it from this perspective, right? Only in the War Within did people really start to get to grips with vertical integration and the power of it. That if you say, for example, you bought some cloth, you turned it into spools, you turned those spools into basic bolts, you took those basic bolts and you made exquisite weaver cloth bolts, and then at that point you either sold the exquisite weaver cloth bolts or you found something else to do with those exquisite weaver cloth bolts. There was potentially 5 steps of vertical integration in that process, which would be what was almost necessary to extract any sort of value from the system that made it worth doing. The simplification process is going to take out steps of that process. And once a meta has formed, the meta tends not to go backwards. Which is... Oh, hello. Hang on, I'm not meant... These guys have got some health. That's alright, they're fine. I do question just where crafters will find their edge this time round. Because I've always said that every time we go into a new expansion, the meta gets a little bit more involved. And, what worked well in the past expansion tends not to work well in the next expansion. And the player base grows and the player base evolves. Which means taking a step back cannot lead to good things. It just means the room, the window of opportunity gets thinner and thinner and thinner and smaller.
It is near to birthing season for the hydras along Braden's Brook's coastline. We must prevent them from swelling to dangerous
Oh, look at all the pigeons out here.
so they don't pose a threat to the village.
Give me all the pigeons.
The Wardens have pledged to bring justice to this world, but we cannot be everywhere.
Go on, last pigeon.
We offer you the honor of taking down
Is that all of them?
brave
All of
threat.
them. Beautiful. I don't think this last healer's going to press the button, are they? You going to press the button? Seems to be very few recipes to learn for housing unless I'm missing a large number of them. There's a couple of recipes for each profession within each expansion. So an individual player isn't going to have a huge laundry list of decor items to craft. But if you know, there's probably some 200 decor recipes in total. Not forgetting that even having access to those recipes, you are still going to have yourself one hell of a time trying to farm the lumber for even a handful of recipes. So with the current system, with the fact that you're going to have to farm the lumber yourself, I don't really feel that there's huge need for thousands of recipes, because you're already not going to be able to saturate the market solo with the recipes that exist anyway. Unless you literally spend every hour of every day farming lumber. Which, you know, people will, I'm sure, but... Oh no, the mob's killed me.
This was the Emerald Dreamway. During my long slumber, it was here I communed with the green dragonflight. Now, this sacred place has been made into a conduit for the nightmare to spread its
Doing normal
corruption.
heroic mythic
This
TOV
we cannot
boost if
allow.
anybody wants in. Whisper Whoopanova. It's very kind of you, Woo. I'm probably not coming on this character
The
right now.
strands of life have been severed. The dreamers must be avenged.
This is probably the last quest I'm going to do on this character, and then I'm going to log off. And either level a new character or finish off the Warlock.
At last, the long dream comes.
I might just make the mage, you know.
Oh, you
Make a
son,
mage.
how cruel fate can be.
It's going to be the easiest class to
Cleansed
level a
nightmare
mage
once
as.
before, only to become its victim. Yet
Probably
again.
Frost, isn't it?
Some wounds never truly heal. May you find peace at last, old friend. Behold, the iris opens.
I wonder how much of it's going to be driven by the work order system.
Moonglade is the most
From what I've seen so far, none of it.
to think that my Shandong could play
Now, I hope it stays that way. My
see with my own eyes what horrors have befallen.
my belief is that the work order system isn't necessary for decor because there's no customization to it. You customize it with dyes once you've already got the item. The work order system, I still truly believe, should only be there for players that want a slightly different customization to a piece of to an item that isn't represented on the auction house in the form that they want it.
Impurity must be cleansed.
You know, if you want a piece of gear that has haste mastery on it and there's only crit ones on the auction house, then you can put in an order for a custom one. That's the position I want to see the work order system live in. As the backup plan for if you can't just go and buy the thing that you want anyway.
It is done.
Oh shit, that was the whole thing done. I forget how quick these LFR runs can be.
Now I must focus all of my strength to cleanse it.
If people can put up their lumber though, it does make the system feel a bit weird if people could start putting their lumber up, but I don't think Decor's going anywhere near the work order system. Because Blizzard would have to implement it, right? The work order system is kind of a bit scuffed because it clearly needs dev interaction to put recipes on the work order system, and probably quite a lot of it. Which I can't imagine that is time or effort that they're really willing to do for something that doesn't really need it, considering you craft an item, put it on the auction house. Like, the customization options aren't necessary.
Change is good. May your possibilities be infinite.
It's another 4%. Okay, I've at least done a bunch of research tasks on this dude. I could spam out more, or this same time could be put towards leveling another character, doing them on another character. Which arguably makes more sense. So, what are we up to? 290. 290 now. Right, let's do a mage of some sort. I don't care. Blood elf mages look cool. Question is do I go fire or do I go frost? I ain't played fire for ages. Fire could be fun. See some people going very hard for infinite power. Any reason for it? Power is power, right? Arcane for the big booms. The story of those guys getting 999 after the nerf is insane. Yeah, basically 2 hours. Yeah, they were basically grinding the Arcway from the second the nerf happened until they were 999 again, which is just funny. Goes to show just how ridiculous some players will go. Flipping out. Names are literally the hardest thing. Names are literally the hardest thing in about creating characters. Remix Mage. You know that name is taken. Yep. Remage. Nope. Backdoor job. What you mean? Get your get your character flagged for rename, even though it's the name of an achievement. Yep. Anthony Mage. It's unique. It's unique and it's boring. It's unique and it's boring. Let's do it. Right, go. Derry Lear. Yeah, that's my druid. Boring druid. How do you keep the characters apart realm-wise? Do you have a sheet or a naming scheme? I do actually have a spreadsheet, yes, of all of my characters across all of my different accounts and across all of their different realms. But this is my main account where I just create things
Champion,
pretty randomly, to be
there
honest.
you are. I thought we'd lost you. So much knowledge. waiting to be
Hang on.
gained.
I need to make sure I'm in the spec I want to play before we press that button. Do we go arcane? I've not played an arcane mage in literally forever.
What is history, if not a series of variables?
Thank goodness I reached you. I need your help.
Add-ons, profiles, remix, load. Why refresh? Oh god, it's happening. Shots at the ready. Right. Auto loot on. Interface. Raid frames, class colors, action bars, you, and you. That's near enough everything. That's a somewhat useful button. Explore everywhere. Get rid of you. You go on that button there. We don't need any of these buttons. Blink is a button we need. Don't need any of these buttons. Don't be silly. There's only one button we need. Boom! That one. Beautiful. Right, now we're good to go. We do actually need a Boo Bears. What's up, girl? You're not happy today, are you? You're having a bad day. You're having a bad day. What button am I looking for? Warband collection. Mounts. What's a mage kind of mount? It's a magey mount. Prismatic disc. That's a very magey mount, isn't it? Yoink. You go there. Oh, wait, what's going on here? Search. No, that's fine.
Our paths cross.
Okay. Explore Heroic World tier. Let's grab some of these. A general training one is a good start.
There is more than one way to solve
Collect
any
motes.
problem.
We can do that. And a normal dungeon. That's a really good start too.
Change is good.
Okay. Let's grab this.
We must act boldly. that remains. Reward seldom comes without risk. You are now in an altered timeline, where I have greatly empowered some of the creatures you will encounter. Find and defeat these creatures to claim the temporal energy coursing through them.
Not having a good day, are you?
That you will be in
Go lie down
for
in
a
your bed.
challenge.
Lie down in your bed. Right. We need to get these basic things out of the way.
Time is set in sand, not stone.
Slay enemies in heroic world tier. Down, please. Class Hall campaign. Okay. Is it in? Mage Order Hall quests. Accept growing power. Hang on, I need to pick up a few things here as well, actually. You're asking to go outside again? Why are you asking to go outside again, dog? This is going to make all of my plans significantly more difficult today. Okay, this is going to have to go on pause, boys and girls. If my doggo is not very well, this might need to go on pause. Let me log out for a minute. Boys and girls, give me 2 minutes. I need to go for a couple. I'll be back in as few as possible. Alrighty, boys and girls. It does appear my doggo has a bit of a funny stomach. Me messing around on Remix is probably not going to take a very high priority for me in that case today. I needed to finish the stream early today anyway. Mostly because I've got some IRL stuff still to finish off, so I'm not going to bother trying to fight and wrestle between doing 3 different things. I will love you and leave you for today. Doggos are awake, they're not resting now anyway, so I'm going to end the stream here today. It's not going to be, I'm not going to be able to feel this if I do anything overly constructive anyway. It's nothing to worry about. She's old, she gets these funny stomachs occasionally. We'll be back tomorrow. It's the last day before, well, on Wednesday we get we get phase 2, don't we? We get the Nighthold to go and explore, so we'll probably do that. But I'm going to slowly start to switch focus a little bit more away from Remix, more into some alpha stuff again now. Remix can go in that slot where it's just, you know, something we do when there's not too much else going on other places. So thank you all for joining. I know it's been short today. To stream for less than 2 hours feels kind of silly in this environment, but, you know, needs must. Thanks for coming. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I'll catch you next time, boys and girls. Peace.